All right, everybody, we have a lot to talk about in a very short video. So let's first talk about inflation and the Fed. And we know absolutely the Fed is definitely going to be lowering rates this year. And it's not because of the amazing CPI and PPI numbers, so consumer price index and producer index numbers that came out over the last 2 days, because those numbers are definitely telling us that inflation is ticking higher, but instead it's how it's being positioned. And in fact, it's being positioned as a slowdown because it didn't go up quite as high as anticipated. Keeping in mind, it still ticked higher than the previous reporting, so inflation is still going up. But what this does is it now gives the Fed an excuse or the ability to now say, well, we can now consider rates possibly coming down for this year. I think it's absolutely going to happen. We've got a lot of pressure coming from the president as well, trying to get the Fed to drop as much as a full percent at the next meeting. Very unlikely for it to happen. At the same time, the president is still pushing for trying to remove Jerome Powell as the Fed chair president. Now, if we take a look at the markets did finish very slightly in the green today, but a lot of buying in the debt market, and I'm going to say it is the Fed here trying to prop this market up higher. Looking at gold and silver today, again, another very positive day. Gold up 1.87% or 0.94 at spot. Silver spot up 30 basis points after a horrible start to the day. A wonderful turnaround for silver. Definitely a nice one to watch here as it holds at that mid $36 mark. And again, if we take a look at the US dollar here, US dollar dipping below 98, a big drop here. And I told you this would happen last week, and we should continue to watch for continued weakness in the dollar. This could likely be short term before we see a little pop. But again, the entire plan here is to bring the US dollar lower. Now, if we take a look at the 10-year yield, down about 70 basis points. Again, a lot of Fed buying here trying to prop this market up. That's it for now, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning at the opening bell.